common misconceptions or stereotypes that South Africans have about Nigerians, and
That we
like
sell drugs. That we do drugs, sell drugs. Everything that has to do with drugs, it's Nigerians. Yeah.
A lot of people say that they wouldn't date Nigerians because they think Nigerians are dirty and ugly and stuff like that.
I say it's nice, but like nothing is as good as home. Yeah.
Afro beats or Amapiano.
You mean our piano?
Hi, my kings and queens. Welcome back to another interesting episode right here on the stable of life of an African woman. Guys, as a Nigerian, there are some certain things I would just, hear from my fellow Nigerians. I'll be like, how are people raised? Like, we are all different. Our family background, our upbringing, our culture, and everything as countries in Africa. But there's one thing, or there are things that are very, very predominant about Nigerians. And these things have really stood out as stereotypes. Name them that it will be very difficult to be erased, right? Because at the end of the day, Nigerians are still in denial. Most of them are still in acceptance. Most of them are still, sleeping to the fact that this is their reality and this is how others think about them. And I know this is, and disclaimer, this is not to say that anybody should change from their natural cultural ways of life and behavior, no, but there are things that are overboard, that are wrong, all shades of wrong, that Nigerians do, maybe sometimes, most times deliberately, but they don't know that in the eyes of others, yes, it is actually a taboo or a different thing. And when these people as South Africans react and talk, they label them, they tag them all sorts of names and character behaviors. But guys, at the end of the day, as a Nigerian, I think differently, I act differently. It baffles me when I hear all these things and see it. I will be like, Nigerians, how are we created? How are we wired? Don't get it twisted. They're amazing, beautiful, like very well groomed, cultured, criminally minded, free Nigerians cut across the world, especially the mixed race. We have South African Nigerians, Ghanaian Nigerians. Nigerians are scattered all over. So when I see these typical Nigerians of this behavior, guys, and I'm like, are you not aware that this is not sitting right with the next person? Of course, you need to be cautious of what you do, how the next person receives it, how they take it. And this is where stereotype and every other thing come to play. Guys, in this video, I've got reactions, commentaries of interviews of Nigerian, mixed with South African parents, and also other Nigerians' reaction of what they think, about how people look at them, how South Africans perceive them. And yes, South Africans at the end of the day will always tell you that, see, Nigerians, we are on our own doing our thing, minding our business, but it's inevitable. One fact remains that, yes, it will always be inevitable for all these conversations, commentaries, reactions to come up, because it's called social experiment. People must always find a thing or the other to say about each other, because we are all countries in Africa. And please don't take it personal, don't take it to heart. The essence of bringing this on here is to see how we perceive each other as different country citizens, right? Personally speaking, I don't hold any grudge against any country. I love all countries in Africa, but what I do not like is crime. Yes, crime and the bad ways of life. Yes, I am always cautious of how I relate and interact with people. Exactly. So this is for us to understand and see through others' eyes as mirror how we are being perceived, especially as Nigerians. You see, Nigerians, come forward. This is for us. Let us accept the fact that this is where we are getting it wrong, especially from South Africans, how they feel about us, how they think about us, because it is true, and work on it at the end of the day so that peace, oneness, and unity will reign amongst us. So with that being said, guys, at this point, I would like you to watch these videos, and please do not forget to like, share, and stay subscribed. And I will see you at the end. And also tell me what you think about these videos, these reactions, commentary, down there in the comment section. And
Common misconceptions or stereotypes that South Africans have about Nigerians, and
That we
like
sell drugs. That we do drugs, sell drugs. Everything that has to do with drugs, it's Nigerians. Yeah.
A lot of people say that they wouldn't date Nigerians because they think Nigerians are dirty and ugly and stuff like that.
I say it's nice, but like nothing is as good as home. Yeah.
Afro beats or Amapiano.
You mean our piano?
The experiences of Nigerian children living in South Africa can vary widely depending on numerous factors, including their age, socioeconomic status, and the communities they live in. However, there are some common themes that often emerge from their experiences.
So I've only been in South Africa since grade 10. So I would say my high school experience has been fun and it's been a lot more diverse. Like I've been in a classroom with people from different races, and also the curriculum was the same because I did Cambridge in Nigeria and Cambridge in South Africa, but the idea of taking like 10 plus subjects in Nigeria and taking like 6 subjects in South Africa was a lot better for me because like it was a lot less stressful and I really enjoyed that. So yeah, I would say I don't have a childhood experience per se, but I do have a school experience that was very much different from Nigeria.
Okay, weird question. Do you prefer school in Nigeria or here?
Oh, okay, wow. Wow. I don't know actually. Like, I feel like there's a mix. Like, I like a blend between both. Like, I wish Nigeria didn't have so many subjects. Like, I wish it was a little more chilled back like this. But then I would still like Nigerian classmates because I couldn't always understand things that were said in South African classes because, well, I don't understand the language, so that was a bit hard. So I preferred, like when I was in school, I preferred Nigerian class. I wanted to be back in Nigeria, but then in terms of the curriculum and the rigorousness, I'd prefer South Africa.
I don't know if you guys have seen that trend, like where this like South African TikToker, he asks like a bunch of South Africans who live there, like what nationality would they not date, and a lot of people say that they wouldn't date Nigerians because they think Nigerians are dirty and ugly and stuff like that. And I'm just like, wow, like that's crazy because obviously I guess I don't look Nigerian, but obviously when people find out that I'm half Nigerian, they're like, wow, like I would never guess that about you because they have a misconception that like Nigerians are dirty. And also like Favor said, they'd be saying that we'd be taking their jobs and stuff, but like they should be happy that we're even working here.
Facts.
Giving them jobs, exactly. And
Facts.
we're making this economy grow, exactly. So
one, maybe not for children per se, but then Nigerians are looked at a lot as fraudulent, and I understand that. I understand that because, well, we've left a reputation and there's nothing that we can do about that. I think also that Nigerians are hardworking or overachievers. I think that's another stereotype that I faced in school. So like I remember one day like someone was asking me if I eat maths for breakfast, like, and I'm like, bro, asking if I eat numbers for breakfast, lunch. I'm like, no, I do not. Or like even just the idea that I have to get good grades for something. Like when I was in school, like it was like, why are you working so hard? Are you promised a car? Are you promised something? And I'm like, no, man, it's just how it's done. So I never struggled with any stereotypes because like the stereotypes were mostly true that I faced. I don't know about many other Nigerians because I haven't really been around South Africa.
Okay, so for me, they feel like Nigerians are not meant to be here because I don't know. I feel like because they feel like we're here to like steal the shine, and like now lately they've been talking about like Amapiano, like they're saying that we are stealing it and we're saying that Nigerians created it, and that's not true because basically we're the ones who's making it like worldwide in a way, like introducing it to like many different types of people, and we're not trying to steal it, we're trying to like broadcast it and like advertise it.
Fair. So what are some common misconceptions or stereotypes that South Africans have about Nigerians? And
That we
like
sell drugs. That we do drugs, sell drugs. Everything that has to do with drugs, it's Nigerians. Yeah.
So how would you tell us the difference between Nigeria's vibe and South Africa's vibe?
Oh my days. Nigerians are loud. We are loud in the way we speak and the way we spend. Like I feel like that's a major thing. Like the culture is different, but I think I'll touch on first the loudness. Like we are so loud, we want to spend to celebrate. Like for us to celebrate, we must spend. Like, and I think coming to South Africa, I've seen that difference. Like if I'm hosting a birthday party in Nigeria, I have to pay for everything for everyone. I have to make sure everyone is decorated. I have to make sure that I'm wearing some nice outfits. Like everything must look like I must be loud, right? But then in South Africa, I can literally just invite my friends. I'm like, you guys, bring your money. I don't have money to spend on you guys. Bring your money. Let's go out. Let's have lunch, right, for my birthday. But I feel like that's a major thing for me. Like Nigerians are a lot louder, even in the way we spend. Like the cars. Like you see someone that's, I don't know, a principal, for example, and they're just driving a small car. I'm like, that don't look right. because if it was a principal in Nigeria, like you have to know that they're the principal. Do you get what I'm saying? Like I feel like we're very loud, and also you can also just see in the way we talk. Like we just talk loudly, but then we can't do anything about that as well. I'm trying to see. I think also the culture. Like in terms of like just saying hi to people. When I came here, I was always saying good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, sir, good afternoon, ma. And I'll just get hi, and then sometimes they wouldn't even respond because I was like trying to understand, like, don't you understand what good afternoon means? You know, like
I remember coming here, right? Not coming, I mean I've always been here. But my mom was like, you need to know that even though like you were born here or whatever, you cannot be telling me hello or hi, how are you? You must say good afternoon, ma. Good afternoon, and you have to tawale.
Yeah, that's how it's done. Yeah, man. I don't know. Like I feel like for me the major thing is because you can also see in the parties, like in weddings. Like I haven't been to South African weddings because I really don't have so much family here in South Africa, but I would have known if there was a wedding if I was in Nigeria. Like, if I was just moving to Nigeria and there was a wedding, the streets would be loud. You would see Ashwebi, people are wearing matching outfits, everything is big, bold. But like, even when people get married here, I don't even know. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I feel like loudness is the major thing for me.
Okay, thank you, Favor. So I'm gonna just ask you a series of questions and then you can just answer. Okay. So as a Nigerian child in Africa, how is your childhood experience? Like primary school, high school? We'll start from you.
School and primary school experience has been like kind of normal because I've been brought up here. So my South African my Nigerian lineage in me, the blood in me, didn't really affect my life in South Africa because I've been living here. So it wasn't really hard for me to adapt because and like schooling was like normal. I was used to the children there and stuff. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Favor.
Unlike Favor, I wasn't born here, so like I said, I've only lived here for 4 years, and actually like I'm half Nigerian and half Kenyan. So when I came to South Africa, there were a lot of cultural differences, like in the food and the way that they speak and stuff like that. So obviously in high school, like I did have to adapt, but because I am used to adapting from my Kenyan to Nigerian, it wasn't that hard. But obviously there were cultural differences.
I feel because I'm Yoruba, Yorubas, they place so much emphasis on respect. So I think that's the first one. Like I'm not your mate. Don't talk to me like that. Don't talk to anyone that's not your mate like that, right? So it's like respect, like irrespective of where I find myself, I'm still finding myself like doing this, like like whether that person is, I don't know, 6 years older than me, 10 years older than me or not, like it's something that has now been, what's the English? It's a part of me, yeah, that's the word. Right. Something that is now a part of me that I just can't separate from myself.
Okay, like the number one is that all Kenyans can run. Guys, I promise you I can't run. I can't run. So like that's the number one. And that all Kenyans, a lot of Kenyans don't have to speak English, and we do. Like,
yeah, you speak good English.
Yeah, I try. Like, it's chill. Like, Kenya is a nice place, guys. Trust and believe.
Okay.
Primary school was tough, you know. Just niggas used to cook you for everything. Like honestly, bro. You know, dark skin back then was it was a shame, bro. Now niggas want me for no reason. Yeah, like you know, it's that type of thing. Growing up in South African primary school, I was tough. It was very hard, I won't lie. Especially with the bullying, you know. Yeah, especially I was in primary school when xenophobia was a thing.
Yeah.
So it was really bad. Yeah, I would get shunned by my classmates. Like no one would want to hang out with me, chill with me. You know, it was things like that. High school got a little bit better. Yeah, it was where I peaked. Like most people say, it's where I peaked, yeah. But high school it wasn't bad. I hated every moment of it, but it still wasn't that bad, yeah. And I haven't been to uni, so I can't speak about that.
Calm. So as a Nigerian child growing up here, can you please tell us about your experience, maybe high school or primary school experience?
Personally, like, it was kind of like a culture shock, like, when I first got here, because I was kind of used to things back home in sense of, like, I didn't really have like a grasp of it, but I had an idea of how things were run back home. And then when you came here, right, you'd realize that the type of things that they do in terms of like education piece, like it's more organized, right? Like growing up, they take it much slower. Like if you guys know, like the education system in Nigeria, right, it's so much more quicker. Like you can tell someone is 16 is finishing high school, but like in SA they really take their time with their education. So that was a little bit different to me, but I actually did enjoy high school.
Calm. What is the difference between the Kenyan vibe and Nigerian vibe, or Kenyan vibe and South African vibe? Like what makes Kenya different?
One thing I'd say about Kenya is that people are very friendly. Like, okay, compared to coming to SA, like not a lot of people say hi to you guys. And like I'll be with like a group of my friends and some people come and say hi, but they only say hi to people they know. But Kenyans will just say hi to everybody, always smiling. It's just like very happy people. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Okay, so I remember one of my friends had a birthday party and it was in Pretoria East and we live in Pretoria North.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
It was in Pretoria. Oh, that's true, you knew about that. So it was in Pretoria East and then we live in Pretoria North, and the birthday party was supposed to start around 8 or 9 in the night, and my friend was turning, I think, 18. And my mom was like, "Oh, why are you doing this at a party at 8 p.m. in the night? They're turning 18 and you're not 21. And I was trying to explain. I was like, "No, but I can go at 8, come back by 9:30.
Not in the African parents' house."
I tried everything. Like I tried everything. My mom was like, "No, you're not going." And I was just like, "Shut up, man. It's all good. It's all good."
How did that make you feel?
I feel like I was so sad at first. Like I was so sad at first because I was like, "Oh, why don't you just allow me to do what everyone's doing?" But I feel like upon reflection, I'm like, maybe this is actually was right. Like because started asking myself why. Like, why do I need to be out of the house around 10 p.m., for example? Like, what am I looking for? So I don't know. I guess that's how I'm going to grow up. Growing up, like, also like just with that idea that at my age, what am I looking for? Around 9 p.m. and my mom doesn't have a car, so I'll have to take an Uber. So I guess it was a reasonable option, but in the moment I was just like, please, just let me live my life.
Right.
I mean, for greener pastures, like yes, if South Africa is in terms of economic levels, it's much better than Nigeria, obviously. But for greener pastures, I wouldn't say, because I moved here when I was young. I didn't have a choice, basically. And I can't really say much on that because people like this nigga. Did you grow up in Nigeria or not? Answer the question. Yes or no, bro? Like, okay, let's say that brother, for instance, that uncle there.
Yeah.
He came here for greener pastures.
Yeah.
So maybe he has more to tell on that than I do because like I said, I moved here. I've known South Africa basically most of my life.
Yeah.
So I can't really answer on that. But for me, as how South Africa has benefited me as a person, like street knowledge, you know. Yeah, street knowledge basically. Yeah, because South Africa is not safe, bro. Especially in Jolo, bro. Be careful, bro.
Okay.
Bro, be careful, bro.
Okay. So real quick, how does Nigeria's vibe differ from South Africa's vibe?
I think Nigeria's vibe is so much more vibey and like, you know, vibrant. Whenever I go back to Nigeria, I know like obviously like first of all the weather differences is crazy. Obviously there it's more war, but everyone there is so, you know, loud and like, you know, like they be speaking their minds and everything like that. Obviously South Africa, like they are as well as like they do have that vibe, but I feel like Nigerians really are, you know, the fun people of the group and of Africa, to be honest.
Afrobeats or Amapiano?
Oh my god. Okay. I first came to South Africa, I would say Afrobeats. All these guys are singing, it's just beats, like what's going on? And then progressively staying in South Africa, I've gotten to love Amapiano as well. So I'm not going to pick, I'm sorry.
You have to.
I'm not. I'm just not going to pick. I would say like, what's this, Afro piano or Amabeats, whatever, like, you know, that blend. Like, cause like when we come together, it's so powerful and it's so amazing. Like, yeah, like that blend between Afrobeats and Amapiano is what we need. Like, that is what we need.
I think like Nigeria is like very inviting. Like they're not like indifferent to people who are different. Like they accept you and they love different type of people. They love to talk with you, like talk about how your country is. Like they're more inviting and they support you and they understand. And like here in South Africa, like people who are different are treated different. Like they don't know how to like, you know, socialize with them. You're an outcast, like you're not someone to like associate with themselves. Yeah.
Okay, again. I think as a high school student, South Africa has benefited me in exposing me to cultures and different experiences that I probably wouldn't have gotten when I was in Nigeria, different races. And I feel like a major one for me is South Africa has led me to appreciate my native language so much. Because in Nigerian classrooms, at least in nobody spoke anything other than English, right? And like speaking Yoruba and then you speak it like shabbishly and everybody will be laughing at you. And then I speak it again, right? But then when I came here and then I'm seeing, I don't know, 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds speaking that language so fluently, I was like, it's a greener pasture for me. Like I want to speak my own native language too, and that has really benefited me because now I can speak my native language a lot better than when I first came into South Africa. And I think another major thing, like I previously said, was just like the experiences. When I was in Nigeria, I didn't get to play basketball so much. Yeah. In South Africa, I got to go for games, matches, I think that's a word, tournaments, and different things. And I feel like that's the whole exposure has been really nice.
So how would you say that your family's Nigerian culture influenced your daily life in South Africa?
I would say like obviously because my mom is Kenyan, my dad is Nigerian. Growing up with a Nigerian dad, like of course I was but like of course I wasn't able to do certain things and, you know, come to church and, you know, proper wear good clothes, cover my head, all of those things. It really taught me like the differences in the way like South African kids grow up. I feel like they don't really have like that sense of fear, you know. Parents, like I feel like South African parents are like more accepting and everything. So growing up with a Nigerian dad, like that set me straight for life. And obviously like I grew up eating Nigerian food and watching Nigerian movies and stuff like that. So of course like I don't know, it's just like it thingies my head every day. Yeah.
My parents are like chill compared to a lot of like parents. So like Nigerian parents, my parents are chill. So but they're still like strict. They have certain rules I can break. So I'd say they've influenced like but like staying true to myself, like knowing who I am, especially like in a foreign country, right? So I have to actually like carry values I have from home and like bring them here. Yeah.
Because of the background, the way they were brought up, the way they would teach me like certain things like this, it makes me so that when my friends do certain things, I know, okay, my I don't support this and I cannot do this type of things because of how my parents brought me up. And I know about, and I fear the consequences of doing those things that African might find as the normal, going out and doing things that like are very bad, and you know from where you come up, your parents, that if they catch you doing this, it's over.
It's over. Likewise, like, okay. So if the last two countries standing was Kenya and South Africa, what country would you choose to live in?
Kenya all the way, guys. Kenya, that's just home. This is home. Like, I say it's nice, but like, nothing is as good as.
Say that Nigeria's vibe differs from South Africa's vibe.
Nigeria's vibe. Well, I haven't been to Nigeria in a minute, so I can't really say much about that. But from the last time I was there, last 2012, South Africa is way more better, man. Like in terms of vibe, it's up there.
So you prefer South Africa?
Yeah.
Okay, come.
I'ma say, to keep it real, to keep it like true, I'ma say I'm a piano.
Why?
Like, I don't know, I just find it more fun and like it's so nice to hear I'm a piano, like the beats and everything. Yeah, it's nice, you know. Like, I don't know, Afro beats, okay, it's nice, it's there, you know, the fun is there, but I'm a piano, yeah, it kicks in.
Okay, thank you, Favor.
I disagree completely. Afrobeats all the way. I think up until I came to South Africa, like, go back to Kenya, like, Amapiano is growing, but like literally growing up, all I've ever listened to was Afrobeat. Now Amapiano is like trending, but the thing with Amapiano is literally just beats. Like, it's just beats. There's no lyrics, there's no music, there's no vibe. Whereas Afrobeats, there is vibe. You know what I'm saying? Although nowadays Afrobeats is like heavily influenced by Amapiano, but still all the way Afrobeats.
I'd say South Africa showed me like a lot of people's different cultures. Because before I came here, initially I thought it was just like blacks and whites. But like, I mean colors. I mean, like, I didn't even knew a country could have more than like 3. Just like hearing people's different languages, it's really, really cool. So I think it's benefited me in a good way. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Christina.
That one's a bit interesting. Yeah. Okay, let me say this is how I feel like a difference, right? We're Nigerians. I feel like we're more energetic in a lively manner, like in a very loud and like outrightly manner, right? But then with South Africa, they mellow, like they have that mellow song. Like if you listen to them, like we like the this is a South African term, right? But like we like that vavavoom, right? And then they like the chill type of, like we're stoic but we're having fun. You know that, like it's chill but let's still have fun.
I am. I'm looking a little gentle today.
I needed you to rephrase that statement.
Yes, I am.
You overdressed the show, so.
No, it's not overdressing because the people I want to address, they are not fair. South Africans are not fair.
Oh.
Yeah, so I don't want to give them so many calls to abuse me.
Well, I think they should abuse you.
I don't want to give them so many calls to abuse me because on my last podcast, I announced that I'm going to travel to South Africa.
I think they should abuse you. They'll be waiting for you at the airport with flowers of abuse.
Well, it's okay. Whatever they want to do, they are my people, and when I have a big news coming. So I am largely relying on them, South Africans. You know, I trust them to do what they do best. Yeah, which also brings us to the show that we have today. We have to talk about our relationship with South Africa and how we can mend it, because it looks like it's getting out of hand. Seriously, you know, if you say whatever you said, me being a Nigerian, whatever I said and mentioned South Africa, they're not going to be fair. They just don't want me saying anything and mention South Africa. I don't know. It looks like we're not practicing democracy anymore.
In Africa or in South Africa?
I am Nigerian, we practice democracy, and they practice democracy, but they don't want me saying anything and mention South Africa.
Well, we have different kinds of democracy. We have South African democracy and Nigerian democracy. You know, they are different. They are not the same thing.
But do you think what we are doing online when it comes to Nigeria and what they are doing in South Africa, also online and offline, because they don't play. Whatever they're saying online, they're still going to do it offline.
Anytime I start talking about sensitive topics like this that concerns Nigeria, I will always mention that Nigerians are very smart. Nigerians are very intelligent, regardless of the fact that there are some of us that are not, that smart. But asked for Nigeria on a cruise.
Yeah,
and it is so bad that it is all cruise until it is not. When it is no longer cruise, that's when we'll start, reflecting on our mistakes and start regretting.
Yeah.
But I don't know how it feels. I don't know how it is for the South Africans. If it is the way they do their own things from, past events, the things we have seen, it is actually real for them. It is not cruise. It might be cruise for us, but for them, it's not cruise. So if they start spewing any hits, whatever, it will definitely manifest. So that's just the difference. And mending it.
You know, I can count how many times there have been a xenophobic attack. This is why I said, and I'm going back to this again, because the most recent one was in 2019. This is like 3 times if I'm counting. So they are not fair. They can say whatever they want to say, because Nigerians also do that. We are not innocent, but most of the thing is them starting it.
They are not fair, really. Interestingly, a lot of Nigerians grew up knowing xenophobic as synonymous to South Africa. So if you do a quiz now and ask a few Nigerians questions and say, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear South Africa? They will say xenophobic attack.
Yeah.
Because they think that xenophobic attack only happens in
South Africa.
They don't know that it happens in every other country. Yeah. But for South Africans, they really need to. I mean, I can't tell them what to do. Quite all right. Nigerians, we don't come for you. We are busy going about our business. We don't come for you. An average Nigerian is looking for how to make million, drive biggest car, build mansion. That is what is in his mind. However, he's going to get it by the way, is his business. Yeah, but that is his goal, to do these big things, have big dreams. However, for South Africans, if they keep on coming to attack, whether online or offline, Nigerians, South Africa is the only country that has helped us unite as Nigerians. Because
when it comes to banter online,
yeah, because whenever South Africa attack us, we will forget our differences as Nigerians and face them. And we are there. The only difference is that not everybody wants to go to South Africa. If everybody wants to go to South Africa, you will see how Nigerians will flood South Africa. And if they come up with any attack, they
cannot do anything about it. Now, if Nigerians say, we are going to be traveling to South Africa, or how Nigerians are traveling to UAE, if they want to travel to South Africa the way they are traveling to UAE, they cannot do anything about it. Yeah, but there are also so many South Africans making Africa proud in the world stage.
Yeah.
There are so many of them. And these people they don't have anything bad to say about Nigeria, except only one person. And I think he's late now, AKA. From a South African rapper. I think he died of something like that. I'm not sure exactly.
Well, if you want, he's late here. May so rest in peace. But if you want to look at the entertainment industry, what they do, and use it to measure although they are influencers, they are the biggest influencers we have in the world. Yeah. But if you want to use what they do to measure these bands and whatever that is going on between South Africa and Nigeria, you might get it wrong. Because if you look at AKA, for instance, let me use Burna Boy. He's alive. If you look at Burna Boy, for instance, Burna Boy is very, very strategic. His PR team, those guys are very, very strategic.
You've said this before.
Yeah, Burna Boy doesn't come online to banter anybody until he has something to offer. So he might be coming up with new album, and he tells you, and the video of a Lamborghini will come up on the internet. And now that skit, it's not a skit, but that event alone, a lot of people are using it worldwide, because it has gone viral beyond our own reality. Yeah. So what AKE said then, although he had a lot of explanation to do, he explained a whole lot of things that did not make sense to me. But I feel like what he said then, he was using it to promote something, maybe promote his album, or it is cruise. From my own perspective, for AKA, it was cruise.
May he so rest in peace. But during that time, it was the peak of Nigerian music to the world stage. So I think it was hard for them to contain. This is what I think. Yeah, I think it was hard for them to contend, because you can mention so many Nigerian artists that is performing or that are performing on the world stage. And if you go to South Africa, you mention only AKA. But I think during that time, Nigeria took them for a ride, saying that Amapiano is the only culture Africa has now to represent them on a global stage. Not mentioning Amapiano was only locally heard and engaged. Every event that is happening in South Africa goes along with Amapiano, but not on the world stage. And if you're counting so many of the South African musicians that are performing really well on the world stage, it's not Amapiano they're using.
Yeah, guys, there are key things that I detected here about Nigerians, which I believe it's true. Most country citizens, not just South Africa alone, complain a lot about Nigerians. Majority of them, not all, though, being into drugs, powder, which is true, factual. We can't deny that. On the other hand, Nigerians are loud. Yes, Nigerians are loud, arrogant, proud to a fault. Now, most times it pisses others off. Nigerians, can we really calm down a bit? Like, especially when we are with others who have different ways of life. Imagine you are a Nigerian in South Africa. You are supposed to behave like a Rome when you get to the. You are supposed to behave like the Romans when you get to Rome, right? Learn their character, their attitude, and fit in, blend in. Not for you to want to, turn it the other way around. I know. You might want to say you. This is just the way we are. Even at that, guys, it's high time we begin to work on these things. Then aside. Another thing I think Nigerians are that we are mostly selfish, self-centered. Because if you are not selfish, self-centered, there are some things that people will tell you that you will sit down, reflect on it. Try to put others or put yourself in other people's shoes. That's in that way you're being, selfless and trying to carry others along. I believe that will really reduce the stereotypes, discrimination back and forth between us, not just South Africans alone, but every other African countries, right? But in all, we are all wonderfully, fearfully, beautiful, and amazingly created by God, and that's what we should represent. We should not even see crime as an option, no matter what, because in your quest for you want to make it big, just like the lady was saying, you want to achieve this, you need to calm down, take life one step at a time, and that's one culture, one character and behavior I found in South Africa that I like. After all, it's a vain word, okay? That is all I have to say for now. And guys, what do you think about these videos? Let me know your thoughts, your opinion in the comment section. And please, at this point, subtle reminder for my sake. If you're yet to like this video, kindly hit on the like button, share, and stay subscribed. And I will see you at the end. Ciao, ciao.